process that is followed for the appointment of the Speaker is set out in the rules of the House Assembly, known as the Standing Orders. Generally, on the election of a new government, the Premier nominates a member from his party as Speaker, with the Leader of the Opposition seconding the motion.
Thank you, sir. I remind the House that it will now be necessary to proceed to the election of a Speaker. Mr Clerk, I move that the member for Hyson take the chair of this House as Speaker.
Is the motion seconded? The member for Hyson.
Nomination.
Mr Clerk, I move that the member for Florey take the chair of this House as Speaker.
Is the motion seconded? The member for Florey.
I'm more than deeply honoured to accept the nomination, sir.
The member who has been proposed and seconded stands up in their place and expresses an awareness of the honour and submits to the House. When two or more members are nominated for Speaker, each member being proposed may address the House, setting out reasons why they would be a good choice as Speaker. As there are two nominations, both members proposed may address the House, as may the movers and seconders and any other member.
Mr Clerk, members, I thank the mover and the seconder. I accept the nomination with humility. That is with the consciousness of the high honour bestowed by honourable members upon the Speaker of this House.
We gather here on Kaurna lands today to create what I hope will be an exciting new page in the history of this parliament. I'm honoured to be nominated for the role of Speaker and thank my colleagues on the crossbench for their encouragement and support, and to the opposition for understanding the reasons I have accepted the nomination.
Each member of the House who is present in the chamber is given a ballot slip upon which the member writes the name of the candidate they choose as Speaker. Ballot papers are delivered to the clerk at the table and counted. The candidate who has the greatest number of votes becomes the Speaker, provided that candidate also has an absolute majority of votes validly cast. With all 47 members present, 24 votes equate to an absolute majority. If no candidate has such an absolute majority, the name of the candidate who has the smallest number of votes is withdrawn and a fresh ballot of the members present takes place. This is done as often as necessary until one candidate is elected Speaker by an absolute majority of votes cast. If there is only two candidates for Speaker, or if the number of candidates has been reduced to two, or if there is an equality of votes among candidates having the smallest number of votes, the clerk declares such to be the case and the ballot again takes place. There being 23 votes for the member for Florey and 23 votes for the member for Hyson and one informal vote, there being two candidates with an equality of votes pursuant to Standing Order number 9, there is a requirement for a fresh ballot. And if there is an equality of votes in this ballot, the clerk determines by lot the candidate who is elected Speaker or whose name is withdrawn as the case requires. There being 25 votes for the member for Hyson and 22 votes for the member for Florey, the member for Hyson having received an absolute majority of votes, I declare the member for Hyson to be elected as Speaker of this House. Yeah. Member for Hyson.
In compliance. In compliance with the standing orders and in accordance with the traditions of the Parliament, I humbly submit myself to the will of the House.
Come on then.
The custom has its origins in the genuine reluctance which, with early speakers, accepted the office for the role of spokesperson for an emerging body of legislators bent on opposing the royal will was a dangerous occupation. This was a time when fear of losing the patronage of the king or one's liberty due to the king's displeasure at the decisions arrived at by the House, which the Speaker was bound to present to the king. When the Speaker is conducted to the chair, the Speaker, standing on the upper step, returns an acknowledgement to the House for the honour that has been conferred and assumed to the chair. Members may then congratulate the Speaker.
Can I offer my congratulations to you, sir? Can I say that I have known the member for Hyson for some years. He was, of course, elected to this Parliament only 2.5 years ago, but in that time he has very much impressed the party room as well as his own electorate, the electorate of Hyson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. On behalf of the opposition, Mr Speaker, we too would like to congratulate you on being elected and elevated to this incredibly esteemed office and a fundamentally important role in the functioning of a robust democracy.
The mace is a symbol of the Speaker's authority, an authority derived from the Crown. The mace is positioned below the table when the position of Speaker is vacant, to signify the fact that the House is not properly constituted by having no Speaker in the chair. Once the Speaker is appointed and takes the chair, the mace is then positioned in the brackets on the table, signifying the House is now constituted.